Okay, as a next step, we will bind the receiver to the remote control, and we will get our servos running, and we will prepare the two motors to be mounted into the car. So let's get rid of those tires. Don't need them anymore. Let's get rid of the weight. Well, these are the big weights. You probably want to use them for some other project, but we only need the 5 grams for the tires here. First of all, let's bind the remote control. For that, we will prepare a servo that we see that we are binding correctly. This is the Turnigy 9025 MG, so it has metal gears. It seems to work great. It fits in. Comes with everything we need. So here are the servo arms and the servo. So let's connect the servo to the receiver plate. Make sure that you plug the signal where you see the sign with the signal. So here is minus plus signal. Same here, minus plus signal. So the brown here is the minus, the red is the plus, and the yellow or orange is the signal. Here we go. Okay, then let's put a servo arm on it that we see something here. And let's switch it on. No, don't switch it on. We will bind it immediately. So how to bind? Here is the hole for binding. It's a little hard to see here. You will have to press the button and switch on. What you see now is that the red light is flashing quickly. This is the time to take your remote control. Also hit the mode button and switch it on. Then you see the LED flashing like crazy, and the car is already in slow flashing mode. So now you can turn off both. Let's turn off the receiver first, then the remote, and let's see if it worked. We turn on the car first, then we can turn on the receiver. Yes, and we have a straight light. Very good. So let's see when I, oops, lost the servo arm. When I move my steering, it's doing nothing. Okay. The remote control has obviously those 4 modes here. So when you hit mode 1, it will only do the steering on the front tires. If you hit mode 2, it does only steering on the back tires, the rear tires. Mode 3 is the, well, parallel mode, and mode 4 is the cool mode, where all the servos are moving. So I obviously plugged into the wrong channel. So now I have both channels activated and it perfectly turns. Okay, so we've bound the receiver to the remote. The servo is also working. Next step will be to get the servo arms prepared for the mounting. Switch off everything. The servo arms are included in the kit, in the Rocksta kit, and some screws. So what we need now is we just take the single arm here, and what we want to do is we want to get the length right. The right length is 13 millimeters from one hole to the other for the perfect throw. So we just take the third from the bottom. Later on we can cut off a little bit of the extending arm. So we need an M2 hole on the third hole from the top. For that I have the right drills to get the threads correctly. So I have an M2 here. Here we go. And first of all we have to drill a 1.5 millimeter hole before we start with the actual threading. Here we go. Now we can do the real drilling. Now it perfectly goes in. It nicely does the thread. Well, okay. It's a little hard to turn it on your own, so I have a helper here. Okay, yes. There we go, back and forth a little bit so that the thread really nicely turns into the plastic and eats the thread. Okay, let's get it out again. And let's screw in this nice little pinhead. It came in the kit version, so this is already there. Screw it on. It's 4.5. And it perfectly sits on the servo arm. Now we will cut off the accessing part of the servo arm, which we don't need anymore. Whoop, here we go. We could make it a little prettier, but you know, it's all about racing, not about building. Building is just one part, and then it has to work. At least that's my opinion. Okay, one servo arm is ready to be used. Let's do the second one in the same way. Well, that's for the servos. We keep the servos. We don't mount them yet because also we have to anyway get them off when we do the gearbox. Now that's not fully true. In theory, it will just be mounted there. Then we will have our servo arm like this. And then it will be connected with this extension arm. Well, like this. And when we plug in our servo here, and do some first tests with the remote on, we have to tighten all of this, otherwise it will not work. There we go. Good enough for showing. Okay, so let's get rid of the servos. Let's put them away. Also note that you need this little screw because this will tighten the servo arm in the servo. So we keep these, we keep that other servo, The other arm needs to be cut off as well. Here we go. These we don't need anymore. So we can move them away. And these are also for mounting the servos, so we keep them